Hello, welcome to this quick update for the severe weather because recently they just updated to a moderate risk today as April 5th around Memphis, parts of Tennessee, northern Mississippi, and Arkansas. And there's this bigger enhanced risk as well in this moderate risk now. So, uh, severe thunderstorms expected over parts of the mid-south and lower Mississippi Valley this afternoon and evening. Western Tennessee, eastern Arkansas, northern Mississippi, northwest Alabama, Louisiana, and East Texas. Widespread damaging winds, some hurricane force, several tornadoes, a few intense tornadoes, scare large hail, and some baseball size. Severe storms can produce damaging wind gusts, large hail, and several tornadoes are expected from the Sabine River Valley, northeastward towards the mid-south, lower Mississippi, Ohio valleys. Strong tornadoes, very large hail, and severe wind gusts are possible. So review your severe weather safety procedures, possibility of dangerous weather today. Stay tuned to the NOAA Weather Radio, weather.gov, and other media for watches and warnings. A watch means that conditions are favorable for the development of severe storms next several hours. If a severe thunderstorm warning is issued over your area, move to a place of safety, either in the interior room, lowest floor of a story building. And similar thing for tornado warning into a basement or the safest place you can find. So please stay safe. So here there's the moderate risk, the enhanced, all the way from Texas to Tennessee, and a big slide from Texas to Ohio, and this marginal goes all the way into Pennsylvania. So tornado is 15% in that moderate risk, and spots of Tennessee, northern Mississippi, and Arkansas, and there's this 10% as well from Texas to Tennessee, and it's all hatched for potential strong to intense tornadoes. So please be careful. And the tornado threat in general goes all the way to Pennsylvania. So be careful. Wind is the next biggest thing. 45% damaging winds, and that small hatched area around Jackson and Memphis and spots of Arkansas and Mississippi for potential hurricane force winds. I'm serious about that. So please stay safe. There's the 30% and the 15% around it, and the 5% goes all the way north. There's hail, a 30% around Texas, Louisiana, and Arkansas, and the 15 and 5%. So please be careful. This is already happening. There are already tornado watches there, especially around Texas, because it's just starting now. So be careful. You can read all of this if you want. It updates every hour, I think, and the link's on the description. So be careful. There's the slight risk tomorrow: Louisiana, Florida, Alabama, Georgia, and even spots of Mississippi and far southwestern North Carolina and Tennessee, and a marginal risk from Louisiana to West Virginia. So there's tornado threat 5% and 2% around Florida and Alabama, spots in Mississippi, and the 2% goes all the way to Tennessee. So be careful, few tornadoes. Wind 15 and 5%, a bigger area, and hail less than 5%. So wind damage, isolated tornado threats possible Sunday across parts southeast, margin severe wind gusts, we also possible parts southern Appalachians. So please be careful. Day 3 is actually a marginal across Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas. So be aware as well. Marginal wind driven damage threat is expected to develop Monday across parts southern Atlantic seaboard and northern Florida. So be aware Monday. Day 4 through 8 is finally quiet. So yeah, be careful. The fire is no critical today, but elevated in Florida for Sunday tomorrow. So be aware. Here's the tornado watch I mentioned, and there are even some old watches here. So be careful. That's still active, I think. So yeah, and some SKU discussions, watch likely, so another watch likely. And yeah, so just stay tuned to the warnings and check the links in the description, the severe weather part. All those sites have some good warnings. But the best ways is a radio or something you have constant warnings showing up. So please find something like that reliable, including flash flood warnings, our next biggest danger. So be careful. There's like here this red area for flash flooding, the yellow for severe weather, and even some mixed precipitation. That's kind of weird, but yeah, in those areas. But in the Rockies, of course, some heavy snow in New Mexico, And yeah, there's day 2, still some flash floods, severe weather, and some mixed precipitation further north and snow. Day 3, some mixed precipitation in the northwest, in the northeast too, and some heavy snow like Michigan, Ontario, and maybe northern Maine, some spots there, some snow maybe Wisconsin, some spots there. So there's still this high risk of excessive rainfall today in Arkansas, as Mississippi, Tennessee, western Kentucky, and southeastern Missouri. So please be careful. There's then the moderate risk from Texas to Ohio, the slight from Texas to Pennsylvania, and the marginal from Texas to Vermont. So please stay safe, especially in the high risk. And I already saw tons of footage of flooding in those areas. So just please stay safe. Stay away from flooding. There's the slight and the marginal tomorrow across the southeast. Be careful on that slight. For Monday, just a marginal. Day 4 and day 5, finally some peace. So be careful, especially today in the high. The also a high risk of snow in New Mexico, more snow there. And there's day 2, mainly quiet, only a thing or two in Washington. Day 3, more Washington, Oregon, and Michigan, especially in Canada there in Ontario. Day 4, something in Maine or the Northeast, and Washington, Oregon. Day 5, kind of quiet. Day 6, a thing or two in Washington. Day 7, Washington. But yeah, be careful. There's the precipitation still today, upwards of 5 inches spots of Mississippi and into spots of Tennessee, and even Alabama 4 inches plus. So stay safe. They choose even close to 3 inches or close to 4 inches in the southeast, and some rain in the west as well. And day 3 still on the east southeast there, more on the northwest. Day 4, some rain on the northwest, is kind of midwest, and in Florida into the Bahamas, the fronts there. Day 5 is maybe some rain in the midwest. Day 6, the east. And yeah, so day 1 through 7, those areas of close to 5 inches or even more, in those areas there, the ground is already very saturated there, so you just enhance the flooding. So stay safe. There are some discussions for excessive rainfall too. Make sure to stay tuned on that. And some winter storms severity index in Maine, New Hampshire, and even some major some spots might be because of ice or some snow next week, and even some moderate in Texas into New Mexico because of that snow. So be careful. The significant tornado parameter already now is already very high in spots of the south there, and let's just make things easier here. So south central US, so does show spots of Arkansas into Mississippi, even those darker pinks close to like 6 to 8 in some spots of Arkansas. Later this evening around 21C, doesn't, it's not that high, but does show in Louisiana some more, Tennessee. So stay safe, but depending on the timing of the storms, the worst of that moderate risk might come later too. So it depends on the timing, but please be careful. But like right now in the afternoon shows some very high values as I'm making this video, so please be careful. There's the updraft Halisti, the full run shows like, let's just put this until the end. So show especially in Arkansas, into Tennessee, some stronger supercells, some more long track supercells, and especially spots of eastern Arkansas, more into Tennessee, even Kentucky, and northern Mississippi. So be careful, especially the wind damage and the tornado threat. But the hail will be big too. So please stay safe. There's the Cape around like now in the evening shows more spots of Texas, Louisiana. So this is like 2 hours from our something, or like in 1 hour shows some Cape in Arkansas, because that front is coming just eating all the Cape up, but still shows around there some 2,000 joules per kilogram, even 2,500, but like right now shows some more Cape present there, and a lot in southern Texas too. So be careful. those areas there, just huge flash flood warnings there. It's basically a sea of flash flood warnings. So please be careful. I think that red are tornado warnings. Yes, tornado. So this is happening as I speak. I hope you have warnings going on right now, as you are watching this, because this is dangerous. Be careful. But you might watch this later, so this will be different by the time you see this. But yeah, please be careful. Even some freeze watches in Texas, freeze warnings, like winter storm warnings, and some and all of this is flood warnings, river flood and normal flood and everything. So please be careful and flood watches through some winter weather advisories the northeast, like New England, and some winter advisors. So please stay safe. There's here let's see if there's any ice or anything, because there are those warmer temperatures in the south. I already showed you yesterday, next few days, but they will cool down quite a bit, some 20s, 30s, western Texas, in the plains some 20s too, because of this front coming during the night, so be careful. And indeed, shows ice there in those areas of the northeast. That's what the winter storm severity index was measured for. So it does show some spots, especially southwestern Maine, like those areas close to northern New Hampshire. That there's more than 1/4 of an inch, and shows more areas, even central Maine, to 1/4 of an inch, 1/10 of an inch, more spots. But please be careful, and that there might be even close to 0.30 or 40 or something. So please be careful. New Hampshire, spots in Vermont. So stay safe. And still shows some snow, like close to 1 inch or something, next 48 hours of snow. And across the country shows more in Texas, that blues close to even 3 inches. Some spots there even 4. More in New Mexico, and the high peaks of Colorado even shoot 8 inches, and some more northern Midwest as well. So be careful. There's Sunday at those 90s and 80s in the southeast, still warmer in the west as well there. But Monday morning still shows those teens, even like close to like single digits in far northern Minnesota, some 20s, 30s scattered around. So be careful. Monday, much warmer is the southwest and the southeast, still cold in the north there, but generally warmer. But during the night, this cold still dominates the Midwest and moves east there, and still cold in the mountains. So stay safe. There are wind gusts from this system here, and then this goes some high gusts today, 40 to 50 mile per gust. This goes might get windy in Atlantic Canada as well. Spots Sunday there, and does show northern Quebec as well. Maybe breezy or even central Quebec. Sunday, this goes in Nunavut, kind of an Arctic front, shows some higher gusts in northern Nunavut or northwestern territories, but that's like far north in the Arctic. But even like central Nunavut shows some gusts Tuesday. So Tuesday, Wednesday shows maybe Montana and Wyoming starting up again. Some 40s to low 50s mile per gust. This goes and might has this Pacific cyclone, like extra tropical cyclone near Washington, Oregon on the 11th, venturing to Montana, summer winds too, and to spots of Alberta later on the 12th, even British Columbia. So be aware. And later is kind of far, but Alaska might have some more stuff later. And this already, like April 15th, shows some scared, stronger winds, spots of the west. But yeah, just focus on the severe weather happening now, and the flooding, and stay safe. We'll watch the near future, but be careful. There's the Europeans still show some 3 inches to 4 inches, some spots there, and spots in Louisiana even like close to 4 inches. There's the HER bear here for some precise data. So the HER next 1 day and 15 hours, upwards of 8 inches in Alabama, upwards of 5 inches in Georgia, in Mississippi, even to 8 inches, the HER. So please be careful. And I trust this model a lot. So this is totally possible. Be careful. Those areas. The icons even tending trending towards North Carolina and South Carolina some more, Georgia, Tennessee. The GFS is all over the place, but it still shows some higher totals. So stay safe. In terms of rain, uh, in other areas, might be more rain and snow in Atlantic Canada, the Northeast, and on the West Coast there in Washington might be some on the coast in British Columbia. So be aware. And southern Alaska, on the coast might be some heavy rain, but in the mountains there, you'll be like very heavy snow. This year is upwards of like more than 50 to 100 inches. So please be careful. Some snow southern Alaska, central north Alaska still. It shows more for British Columbia. Spots there to 26 centimeters, 29, and even more in western British Columbia too. Further northern British Columbia, southern Alaska, and more through Yukon. Uh, some weird spots of snow in Alberta and Saskatchewan, but Manitoba too, but generally nothing crazy there. But Quebec might have a widespread snow, some 18 to 24 centimeters further south, some 3 and 2 centimeters, 4 centimeters, but some spots even to 18. Southern Quebec even close to 31 centimeters, southern Ontario close to 30, 28. Spots of Newfoundland and Labrador, Nova Scotia too, more spots in Newfoundland. So be careful. The GFS has even more in New Brunswick to like 31 centimeters. In Quebec, close to 30. Shows more spots of eastern Quebec, especially northern Quebec and Labrador, showing some 34, even to 38 centimeters. And it shows more northwestern territories and Nunavut. So the GFS is no there too, and along British Columbia, those areas. So be careful. There's the icon in southern Ontario, more than 25. Even spots of southern Newfoundland, northern Quebec, more spots there. So stay safe. There's here like the snow as well, spots of Washington, Oregon, even shows 17 inches to 26 inches next 5 days. Spots in Oregon, some 6, 5 inches. And it does show in Idaho some 2 to 5 inches, 3 inches, some in Wyoming too. And it does show in Texas still those areas to 3 inches, some in New Mexico. This is a little bit different from the National Weather Service forecast, but it's worth seeing too. There's the GFS, some in Oklahoma, and shows in Wisconsin some 5 inches. That the European barely has anything there, so these models are not in their finest agreements, but they're showing the Northeast in 5 inches, went to 10 inches in Maine, 11 inches next 5 days. So be aware of those areas. The temperatures for Canada, like I mentioned yesterday, are still cold, especially in the north, but the west is actually very mild in some spots. But it will get colder as this cold air moves east because it's slowly creeping east. So by Monday morning in southeastern Canada, some colder temperatures already. And Nunavut, like equals to minus 28. The west still better, but still like in the northwestern part of Canada, negative temperatures. Quebec and Ontario like very negative, especially Manitoba. This goes and still Tuesday shows in the southeast some negative temperatures. Even the Atlantic, more northern Quebec, northern Ontario, Manitoba, even close to minus 24. More Manitoba, kind of mild still, but some negative temperatures still in parts of the west. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and then this goes and slowly that cold air will go away. Might get better in the southeast, but still those cold temperatures in some areas from time to time, in most areas actually. So be aware and stay safe. There's anything else? I think it's good.